You've heard the buzz, right? Charlotte's the spot. Everyone's talking about booming jobs, shiny new towers, Panthers football, breweries on every corner, and sunsets on the lake like it's some kind of Carolina fairy tale. But here's what you really want to know. Is the hype actually real, or are we all just getting played by beautiful drone shots of uptown and Instagram edits from South End rooftops? Listen, I live here. I'm in these neighborhoods every day. I've seen the highs, I've seen the frustrations, and I've seen families show up thinking they're moving into paradise, only to get hit with I-77 traffic, rising property taxes, and surprise inspection repairs that wreck a budget. But I've also seen people find their forever home, discover hidden gems like a coffee shop on a greenway, or watch their kids just light up the first time they hop on a boat out on the lake. So buckle up. I'm pulling back the curtain on Charlotte. No fluff, no filter. And you have to wait until you see the neighborhoods that people are truly falling in love with. From million-dollar tree-lined classics to affordable pockets, still under the radar. Let's jump in. Hey, the first neighborhood we're going to cover is Myers Park in Dilworth. For this, think stately, tree-lined streets, historic brick colonials, and million-dollar renovations. Homes here typically run from $850 to well over $2 million, but you're paying for legacy, charm, proximity to uptown, and name recognition anywhere in the region. Dilworth will bring a mix of early 1900s bungalows alongside newer builds tucked into walkable streets. It feels like classic Charlotte with Freedom Park nearby and restaurants that feel like institutions. If you want character, this is your lane. And while you're here, grab a table at Finley's, a local favorite diner that's been slinging breakfast since the 80s. I'm Joe Mcintosh, your Charlotte-based realtor and military veteran, and I bring disciplined strategy and follow-through to every move. My contact info is on the screen. Let's build you a plan that fits your life and your budget. Our next destination started as a shopping destination, has transformed into Charlotte's unofficial second uptown. Welcome to South Park. You'll find mid-century ranches that have been remodeled, luxury townhomes, and newer custom builds. Prices here often range from $600,000 to $1.5 million or more, with condos and townhomes sometimes dipping lower. South Park's vibes: polished, professional, convenient. Great for my mid-career pros and families who want access to upscale dining, office parks, and the massive South Park Mall District, but also appreciate quieter suburban living. And with a major redevelopment project underway, it's becoming a walkable, mixed-use hub. And while you're here looking for happy hour favorites, Legion Brewery, South Park rooftop views, and craft beer make it the after-work spot. Head south and you'll hit master plan suburbia done Charlotte style. Valentine is golf courses, big box shopping, neighborhood schools, and newer construction homes. You'll see a mix of brick, two-story, cul-de-sac living, and more modern townhomes. Prices typically run from $500,000 to $900,000 for single-family homes, with townhomes and condos a bit lower. Valentine Reimagined, a billion-dollar development, has added an amphitheater, trails, parks, and restaurants, making it feel less like a suburb and more like its own city. For date night, you can't go wrong with red sake, sushi, and cocktails in a neighborhood packed with suburban staples. Cross the state line and you get lakefront living, plus lower South Carolina taxes. Homes here run the gamut: 1970s ranches with lake access, new construction subdivisions, and multi-million-dollar waterfront estates. Our general range is from about $450 up to $1.2, depending on size and, of course, location. These spots attract families who want good schools, retirees chasing waterfront lifestyle, and professionals willing to commute a bit for the sunset over the water. Plus, golf carts and boats are as common as SUVs. Dockside dining: pull up by boat or car to Papa Doc's Shore Club and enjoy drinks and food right on the water. But if you want the best food in Lake Wylie, make sure to check out Lily's and thank me later. Looking for something a little more affordable? East Charlotte, especially areas around Shamrock, offer ranches, brick home, and smaller starter properties that are going to be in that $325 to $550 range. It's diverse, still close to uptown, and hasn't yet hit the price peaks of Plaza Midwood and Noda. For buyers willing to add a little sweat equity, this is one of the few places in Charlotte where you can still get great value without giving up location. And if you're here, you've got to go to Lang Van. It's a humble Vietnamese spot and a cult classic here in the area. And I'm a big fan of this area. I'm actually from here. I grew up in Shamrock here in the 80s and 90s. And it's been amazing to see the turnaround the neighborhood's had and what it's become, and to see the future of where it's headed. But knowing the vibe of a neighborhood is only half the story. To really get why people are flooding in now, you've got to see the bigger picture of how Charlotte flipped the script. Charlotte wasn't always this it city. If you rewind just 20 years ago, uptown would be quiet after 5 p.m. Bankers were out, lights off, and you could roll a bowling ball down Tryon Street without hitting a soul. Back then, Charlotte's claim to fame was NASCAR, Bank of America, and maybe the Hornets. But over the last decade and a half, Charlotte has completely reinvented itself. The population has grown by over 150,000 since 2015, making it one of the fastest growing metros in the Southeast. And it's not just people showing up, it's who is showing up. We've got families from the Midwest chasing better weather and affordability. Tech workers leaving New York and the Bay for lower cost and remote-friendly lifestyles. And retirees cashing out from up north, finding they can stretch their dollar here without sacrificing culture. The job market has fueled it all. Sure, Bank of America and Wells Fargo gave Charlotte the banking backbone. But now you've got LendingTree, Truist, Honeywell headquarters, Red Venture, Atrium Health, Lowe's Corporate, Avid Exchange, and Microsoft making big moves here. Add in the growth in healthcare, fintech, energy, and logistics, and you've got a diversified job engine that attracts talent at every level. Culturally, the flip is just as real. South End is packed with food halls, rooftop bars, and breweries that didn't exist 10 years ago. Noda has gone from an artist hideaway to a full-on entertainment district. Plaza Midwood, you'll find a vegan coffee shop next to a tattoo parlor and a $900,000 bungalow with string lights overhead. Charlotte's restaurant scene, once overlooked, now gets national nods with spots like Kindred, Lee and Louise, and Optimus Food Hall's lineup is ranked as one of the top in the country. So the question isn't, was Charlotte ever good? The question is Charlotte as good now as they say? And the next question is, where is it headed next? And to really answer that, you've got to hear who's actually moving here, because their stories show exactly what kind of city Charlotte has become. So who's really making the move to Charlotte? The short answer, everybody. But the story, or what really bring it to life? I worked with a family from Chicago who came in with spreadsheets full of school districts, commute times, and must-haves. They were convinced South Park was the only answer. Big home, prestigious address, close to everything. But when we lined it up against their budget, South Park homes were often $900,000 and up. Then we toured Valentine, where $550,000 to $750,000 gets you newer construction. Open floor plan, community pools, and still plenty of space for the kids. That's when it clicked. They could stretch out without having to stretch their budget. And that is where they found home. Then there was my mid-career pro out of New York. He swore it was uptown condo or bust. We walked those high-rises. Amazing skyline view. Sure, but he couldn't shake the feeling of being boxed in. cold steel, elevators, and neighbors you'd probably never meet. Then we pulled into Plaza Midwood, a modern townhome, rooftop deck, and a little patch of green out back. He could have a smoker baby and neighbors waving as they walked to grab coffee. Murals on the block, breweries around the corner. It felt alive, and for $550 to $800, it gave him community and space without losing that city energy. What sold him wasn't the square footage, it was roots, connections, and the neighborhood that actually felt like his. And here's the thing, each of these moves points to a bigger truth about Charlotte's growth. The city doesn't just hand you one lifestyle, it gives you lanes to choose from. And you get to pick how you merge them together to create your own Charlotte stories. And later on, I'm going to show you the billion-dollar projects that are reshaping those choices even further. These are projects that will change where the next wave of buyers land. I've even seen empty nesters from Virginia ready to downsize by the beach change course after one good look at hurricane season and coastal flood zone. In Fort Mill, they found golf cart-friendly streets for lake access and a home where they could watch sunset over the Catawba right from their back deck. Waterfront living here isn't cheap. Move-in ready starts around $1 million and climbs from there. But for them, it wasn't about chasing the smallest square footage. It was about better days in a place that felt safe, connected, and easy to enjoy year-round. The point? People show up thinking they know their lane, but Charlotte has a way of surprising them. And that's exactly where I come in. I spend my days walking neighborhoods, breaking down the data, and helping families, professionals, and retirees land in the part of the city that fits their life the best. If Charlotte's even on your radar, don't guess. Shoot me a call or text. My info's on the screen and in the description. Let's talk through what kind of life you're trying to build and see if Charlotte's the right fit for you. But finding your lane isn't always smooth. This is where a lot of newcomers hit speed bumps they never saw coming. Let me walk you through the reality that catch people off guard. Here's the part no one puts on Instagram. Charlotte has a ton going for it, but living here comes with its own curveballs. And if you don't know them going in, they'll catch you off guard. Let's start with the obvious. Traffic on 77 is the parking lot. Even at 11 a.m. on a random Tuesday, it can crawl. 485 loop doesn't give much relief during peak times either. And while locals lean hard on back roads sometimes, guess what? Those fill up too. Now people tell me, Joe, it can't be as bad as LA or DC, right? And that's true. It's not on that level. But let's be real. Sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic still isn't anyone's idea of a good time. Taxes in Mecklenburg County do run lower than many states, but rising home values mean bills are creeping up. South Carolina suburbs like Fort Mill, Ortega Cay, or even Lake Wylie can save you money on taxes, but you'll often trade that for a longer commute. On top of that, HOA fees are everywhere, especially in newer neighborhoods. Sometimes they're modest and cover amenities like pools and workout centers and clubhouses. Other times, you end up paying $100 a month so someone cuts your grass. So that's just something to keep in mind and for you to decide what's important to you for. Another thing newcomers notice fast, Charlotte isn't a 24-hour neon city. Uptown has its nightlife, sure, but once you're outside that shadow, odds are slim you're getting sushi delivered at midnight. Even finding a great meal late night in the suburbs can be a challenge, and that's part of the trade. You're not moving to New York or Chicago, that runs non-stop. Charlotte leans more towards family dinners, breweries that close at 10, and weekends built around greenways and lakes. For most people, that slower pace is exactly the point. It's why you're moving. But if you're expecting a 24/7 food and entertainment playground, you'll feel the difference. Waterfront and creekside living looks amazing on paper, but you've got to check the flood map. Most of Lake Wylie and Lake Norman are not in flood zones. It's the creeks that cut through Charlotte and Mecklenburg County that really get FEMA zones. Along the Catawba and smaller streams can mean hefty insurance premiums, sometimes double what you may have budgeted. And insurance in general is a factor here. Two homes that look identical can differ by thousands a year based on roof age, windows, or elevation. Me personally, I'd never buy in a flood zone because it's not if, it's when. A lot of homeowners love the idea of building, but permitting in Mecklenburg County can stretch timelines and demand has builders pretty booked. On the flip side, new construction in spots like Indian Land or Huntersville may come with a trade-off. You get that brand new home, but you're also driving through construction zones for a few years while the community fills in around. Charlotte's an amazing place to live, but it's not without its quirks. By the end of year one, most homeowners have figured out their back road commute. They have a trusted HVAC guy and a handyman in their phone, and know which coffee shop or brewery makes their corner of Charlotte feel like home. So why do people keep coming in droves despite all of this? Because Charlotte isn't standing still. It's gearing up for the next decade with projects that will reshape the entire city. Let me show you what's coming and what's coming next. Charlotte isn't standing still. If anything, it feels like the city's hitting the gas. The growth happening right now isn't just cosmetic, it's city shaping. The Pearl Innovation District, anchored by Wake Forest School of Medicine, this project is Charlotte's shot at becoming a true life sciences hub. We're talking research labs, classrooms, startups, and apartments all in one walkable district just off of uptown. For a city once known mostly for banking, this is a whole new chapter. Let's talk about the Gateway Station. Picture pulling up on Amtrak, stepping into a modern multimodal hub, and walking to a Panthers game or dinner in South End. That's the vision of Gateway Station. It's under construction now, and once it opens, it'll stitch together train, light rail, buses, and the Gold Line streetcar, all in one spot. Right now, the Link's Blue Line runs north-south, but the planned Silver Line will stretch 29 miles east and west, connecting Matthews to Uptown and all the way to Belmont. Imagine hopping on a train straight from the airport into the city. That's part of the plan. It won't happen overnight, but the framework is in place. Up next, the River District. On the west side, along the Catawba River, sits 1,400 acres being transformed into Charlotte's version of a new town. Homes, retail, trails, schools, office space, all designed to feel like its own community tied to the water. When built out, it could hold more people than some small cities in North Carolina. Let's talk about the South Park transformation. South Park isn't just a mall anymore. Major redevelopment is reshaping it into a true mixed-use district. Think apartments over retail, pedestrian-friendly streets, and community green space. What used to be suburban shopping is quickly becoming a second urban core. Let's talk about the greenways, because they're amazing. The Charlotte Trail is being expanded to link neighborhoods from Ballantyne to UNC Charlotte. Dozens of miles of connected paths will make biking to work, jogging with strollers on, or weekend brewery crawls more realistic than ever. And no global city is complete without a top-of-the-line airport. Charlotte Douglas is already one of the busiest airports in the U.S., handling more passengers than Miami or Newark. A massive terminal expansion is underway, adding gates, concourses, and amenities. Translation? More direct flights, easier travel, and another reason the city can compete on a global scale. All of this matters because these aren't what ifs, they're happening. The cranes are in the air, the dirt is being moved, and when these projects hit full stride, they'll change not just where people live, but how they live. So is Charlotte all hype? Let's wrap this up, but don't miss this part, because what I'm about to share is the difference between loving Charlotte and wishing you chose different. So is Charlotte all hype? Here's the truth. Charlotte isn't hype, but it also isn't automatic. The people who move here and thrive aren't the ones chasing the cheapest square footage or the flashiest listing photos. The ones who really love it here are the ones who match their lifestyle to the right neighborhood. That's the difference between loving Charlotte and wishing you had chosen different. Because here, It's not about the house, it's about the rhythm. Do you want the tree-lined streets of Myers Park, the artsy walkability of Plaza Midwood, the suburban comfort of Ballantyne, or the lake lifestyle in Fort Mill or Cornelius? If you pick based on price alone, you'll feel out of sync. But when your daily routine lines up with your neighborhood, Charlotte delivers in ways you didn't expect. That's why so many families, professionals, and retirees are calling this home, and why I spend my days helping people figure out where they actually belong. If Charlotte's even on your radar, don't guess. Give me a call, shoot me a text. My info's right here on the screen and down in the description. Let's talk through what kind of life you're trying to build and see if Charlotte is the right fit for you. And if you've gotten value out of this, please smash that subscribe button. Because the city's not slowing down. But whether Charlotte is worth it for you comes down to one key choice: finding the lane that truly fits your life. And that's where I can help. Again, give me a call, a text, an email. Let's schedule a Zoom so I can get you and your family all the information you need to have a smooth move to Charlotte, North Carolina.